What's going on? Hopefully, everybody's having a fantastic night. If you guys could give me a one, let me know that you can hear me, you can see me, that everything is cool. We are going to get into this foolishness very shortly. Very, very shortly. Okay, I see some ones. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, guys. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend, had a great week, enjoyed yourself. Everything was awesome, everything was great. And now you're here watching Sister Wives and here for the after party. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I gotta tell you guys, like off the rip. Now, normally I don't do this. Normally I don't do this. But I'm gonna tell you, like my first reaction off of watching tonight's episode, I gotta tell you that Robin kind of comes off crazy as cat shit. Like, pardon my French right off the top. I apologize for that. But yeah. Like, I'm watching her and stuff she say throughout the episode. I'm like, what in the world? Like, who does that? Oh wow. Yeah, I thank you guys for coming in. Big shout out to Lizzie B. I saw her earlier. Hey Lizzie. Um yeah. What is going on, Tommy, Lee, and Teresa Skinner, everybody, Kathy Ferran in the house. Look, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I Dark Kathy is here. Okay. Dog James. Yeah, it might be one of them nights, y'all. Watching this dang on show. I'm gonna open up the phone line soon, so that you guys can call in if you want to call in. But I'm telling you, like watching this, it was an informative episode, kind of. Uh, for those who haven't seen it yet, I mean, to be honest with you, this wasn't one of those like super turbulent episodes where you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe. Well, actually, there were a couple moments where I was like, I can't believe who says this, who raised these people. But like, it wasn't one of those episodes where it was a jaw dropper. One of them episodes where you ready to throw your drink or libation at the screen because somebody said something completely outrageous. I mean, there was some crazy talk, like hands down, like we are talking about sister wives here. So there was some crazy talk. Um yeah, there was a couple points. Somebody just I think I just saw it one of the things that really stuck out to me was when I think somebody just mentioned it, but I'm gonna Mama Cat, what's up? Uh Something that somebody had just mentioned that Robin said that was just like, what? Just to set the scene a little bit. I'm not giving anything away. Like I'm not one of those people, Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. Like, what? I'm not that guy. I'm not a spoiler guy. But this episode actually featured Mckelty having her twins, which I'm glad it wasn't like really I mean, it's a beautiful event and it's awesome that they're adding to the family and the kids obviously are important. Um, but sometimes the births can be a little off-putting a little bit. Just seeing like everything that goes into it. Like it's a lot, for people, people sitting there eating their spaghetti or whatever and they watching this. So and the women, they go through a lot with the births. And I will say that in fairness, one of the more like Cody has a right to his opinion, but it's a little weird when he's like, yeah, I love home births. That's because you're not the one pushing a kid out without an epidural. Like you don't need pain medication when you're the father. Like I understand, I watch my kids being born. I, you know, I dickhead thing to say, but I didn't feel anything. Okay. This is just the way it works. Like you can't sit there. Like it'd be tremendously insensitive for me to sit there and say, I don't know why you on getting epidurals because the medicine is gonna hurt the babies. Like if a woman decides that she wants to do a natural childbirth, if she wants to go to the hospital, or she wants to get the epidural, or whatever she decides to do to make herself feel comfortable during this process, I don't have a problem with it. Because at the end of the day, I'm in the cheap seats. Like, as a father, you like to feel like you a part of it. And I get that. And I'm one of the people too. I was there. I held the babies first. I was the first one to hold my kids, you know, cut the umbilical cord, the whole nine. Like I did all that. But I gotta be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I gotta keep it real. She did all the work. She did the work. I was there. I was coaching and I was talking and I was motivating. Do it. You can do it. Push it. You got this. I was doing all that good stuff. But she was doing the work. You know what I mean? I was like like if you ever watch a boxing match where the boxers there and they fighting their behinds off. I'm like the coach in the corner, shouting out instructions. I remember years ago, me and my dad, my brother, we used to watch the fights and stuff. And and there was a boxer. Story time. There was a boxer. I'm not gonna holler no names out. Pretty well known boxer, not Tyson or nobody like that. But he was fighting and he was getting his behind kicked. Okay, he was getting his behind kicked. I'm talking about his butt was up between his shoulder blades. He was losing every round. And his coach and trainer was out there shouting like, dip, duck, get out the way, move off the line, fire back. And he's shouting all these instructions. And the guy's out there getting his behind whoop, boom, 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 give body blow, body blow, body blow, body blow. And when he gets over to the corner, the coach is like, look here, all you got to do is, he said, if you don't shut the F up, I'm out here doing this. You want to do this? He is kicking my behind. Like, it is terrible when you the fighter and you realize what's happening. Like, there's no question that you lose in this fight. Okay. He's like, I'm just trying not to get knocked out. It just and that's what it's like when you the father in the delivery room. You like, get in there and do it, push, you can do this. Don't give up. And like I said, I don't want to diminish the father's role in the operating room or the other parent. I won't say father because nowadays, but the other parent in the room, the other person in the room, trying to motivate and all that. Yeah, it's great to be there for the cheerleading support. I'll just leave it there. But one of the things that Robin had said after the babies were born, for those who don't know, Mckelty had to go in for a C-section, and which is troubling. And we could talk about that. I'll open that up for you guys to talk about with people who've had C-sections or whatever. My mom actually had C-sections. But it can be hard on the body. Like having childbirth can be rough. There can be tearing. There's all kinds of stuff that goes on. Again, I am an observer. I watch, I see. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that happens, and it can happen when children are born. And C-sections are particularly invasive because you're essentially gutting her and pulling the child out and then putting everything back and then stitching her up. Like, I mean, that's the very crude description of it, but essentially that's what it is. And the recovery time on C-sections are extremely slow because this is a severe wound, you know. Like nobody really categorizes it that way, I guess, for the most part, but it is what it is. It's a severe wound. Like she's suffered a severe injury. And you have to recover from that. So, like, as with any surgery, especially open surgeries. So she's recovering, and Robin says, and I want to be very specific. Robin was called down by Mckelty to help out with the babies. Robin says, because she was going to stay there, obviously Mckelty lives in the same town with Christine. So Christine gave Robin her space. She left. And then when Robin leaves, Christine's going to float back in. And she's probably going to do a majority of the work, in fairness, not even trying to be a jerk here. but or being a Christine Stan. She's probably going to be doing a lot of the work and a lot of the helping out because she's closer. You know, so Robin says, "I'll be helping out the most. Then I'll pass the baton to Christine." This is why I say, like, Robin is a cup of crazy. Okay. You can't sit there and say that you're going to be helping out the most. Look, I'm going to have the first shift of helping out. I'm going to be there. It would have even been gracious to me if Robin would have said something to the effect, Miss, I'm so heartbroken that the family can't get back together. If she would have said something to the effect of, I am going to be there first. And I appreciate Christine giving me my space so that I can bond with the kids and have an opportunity to bond with the kids because, neither one of us feel comfortable with the situation right now. So I appreciate her making that sacrifice so that I can be there first and acknowledge the sacrifice that Christine is making as the woman who pushed Mckelty out. Okay. Acknowledge that sacrifice that she's making. Then you say, trying to be a good teammate and trying to be a good friend, trying to be a good co-parent, I'm going to thank her for her sacrifice. Then I'm going to go back over to Arizona or whatever, and then go hang out with my kids. I'm not going. I had an adjective there, but I'm not going to use it. I'm going to go back and hang out with my kids. All right, and Cody. And just leave it there. But she, of course, Robin, she has to try to. There's not a conversation that I watch with her where she doesn't try to make herself seem greater than she is, her participation bigger than it is, her involvement more relevant or more uh grandiose than everybody else's. Like this, like it's just a weird thing with her. And like I know for me, in dealing with people like that, it's extremely tiring dealing with people who are in constant competition with you, whether you want to be in competition with them or not. This is like you pull up to a stop sign and you stop it at the red light, or you pull up to a red light, you sitting there waiting, and somebody pulls up in a sports car and they look at you and they revving their motor, and what the hell? And they revving their motor looking at you. Then all of a sudden the light go green, they give you the finger and then tear off. Wow. And you're like, what the? I didn't even know we were racing. You get to the next light because usually when people be racing or driving all fast, they only get about a light away, and then you wind up stopping at the same red light. It's crazy as hell. But they do all that, slot racing, driving off, and they at the same stoplight as you. You're going the speed limit, and when you pull up, they look at you and they say, "I beat you in your face, sucker, in your face." You can't touch me, too fast, too furious. Like, oh, come on, man. Like I am running slow and barely aggravated. Like, leave me alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of weird vibe from Robin. Um, and I wanted to pose something to the group, and I'll pose it to you guys. Is Michelle Littlefield, what's happening? Um, I want to pose this to the group. Uh I understand the name of this show is Sister Wives, and for the most part, it's a show about an alternative family lifestyle. Even though the name of the show is Sister Wives, it's about an alternative family's lifestyle, polygamous family, particularly lifestyle. Um, the relationship with Mckelty and Robin, and they said that relationship was special. Mckelty gives this heartfelt rendition of how coming up there was a time where she didn't feel like she was being seen by the other parents and she didn't feel special. Uh, Mckelty, from what I saw on the show, she was kind of an odd bird. Okay, and that's not, sometimes that's just how it works. Like creative kids, intelligent children, especially kids who have like hyper intelligence, being smart, just as an aside, being a smart person is a very lonely experience for some people. just because you don't really have people that you can truly connect with because you see the world differently. So it can be a very lonely thing. Being a creative child or being an artistic child can be a very lonely experience because, again, you don't see the world the same way everybody else does, especially if you grow up in a very conservative, strict household where boys are supposed to be one way, girls are supposed to be another way, and everybody is supposed to function like little robots, and that's how it's supposed to be. And here you are, you're the one that doesn't, you're the little piece or the little cog that doesn't fit. So you can have a very difficult time coming up. And maybe that's the experience that Mckelty felt when she was coming up. She wasn't as secure in her relationship with her family as she should have been. And I get that. And I'm not really blaming anybody involved because being a parent is hard. It doesn't come with a with a damn booklet. I wish it did. I wish it came with an instruction booklet. I'm the guy who will break out put a piece of furniture together or whatever. I put the instructions out. I'm the guy that counts the pieces. Okay. So I can follow an instruction. I like instructions. I wish being a parent came with an instruction book. I would try to be the best parent I could be, try to be amazing at it, make sure all the pieces fit. But it doesn't come that way. And I get that. And what I don't like about the description that they gave when they were talking about McKelty's time, and this is just me picking up on it. Maybe it's just me being, and I'm going to acknowledge this. Maybe it's just me being super sensitive about this. But when they were talking about it, everything seemed to be on the moms. Oh, when I was coming up, I didn't really get along with Christine or my mom. And, I wasn't getting along with the other moms. And I wasn't, when Robin came in, she saved the day and made the relationship better between me and my mom. But I didn't hear where anybody said, I didn't get along with Cody. Maybe I have to go back and rewatch it. Maybe again, I'm being just too particular about it. But I think that the dads have a role in that. Like you can help to mend fences, daddy's little girl, all that good stuff. You can help to mend fences. You can help ease those relationships. Um, Historically, or at least in my experience, sometimes the young ladies will have a difficult time with their mothers, just like young men have a difficult time, typically will have a difficult time with their fathers. I think that part of that reasoning is as the kids start to come into their own and they're trying to establish their own identities, their own boundaries, their own personas, that collides or clashes with the person who they see as that ideal thing. So if you are a young man, you may have conflict with your dad whereas you may not have that same issue with your mom, and vice versa. You may have, young girls may have conflicts with their mothers, whereas they don't have that same conflict with their fathers. In fairness, to keep it holistic, we're gonna be honest. When they hit their teen years, they pretty much have a conflict with everybody. but, but it's just the way it works. Everybody is dumb. Everybody is dumb and everybody's a stupid when you're between 15 and 18, sometimes a little older. Because they had the world figured out at that age. Like I've always said, I wish I knew I wish I actually knew half of what I thought I knew when I was in my late teens. Because if I did, I would be the smartest person in the world, hands down. Um, but you can, if you are a parent who has a better relationship, you can be that parent to bridge that gap. And what I didn't hear in that conversation was Cody taking any responsibility as far as trying to heal that relationship. And not even so much, I'll even pull back on the idea of responsibility, but he didn't even take any acknowledgement as being a participant in any of these relationships, in the formulation of these relationships. I think that that's important. You can't just sit there and say, "Oh yeah, they had a bad time. They didn't get along. I don't know what was wrong with them." You were there too. So if she was having issues, she was having problems, if she didn't feel like she was being seen and she didn't feel like she was special, then that's your failure too. If my daughter or my son came back and said, when I was growing up, I felt like I wasn't seen. I felt like I didn't have anybody to talk to. I wasn't heard. I wouldn't sit there and be like, I don't know what's wrong with you. Look at my way. What's wrong with you? I don't know why you had them kids grow up like that. That would be on me too. That would be part of my issue. And I would take umbrage with it. So uh-oh, we got some heat, we got some fire coming in. Uh Sandra Hassan, Heason. Oh, I got that right. Sandra Heason. 9.99 super chat. Mckelty rude as hell, putting Robin on an equal level with her mother, knowing the situation between them. I think her and her husband like to stir the pot. That you know what? I'm not mad at you. I wish I could be like, no, Cody would never do that. But I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I think that you can certainly, whether you agree or disagree with Sandra's position, you can certainly see where she's coming from. And that's all, that's essentially what I like. I like the if you have a position and maybe I don't agree with it, I can see where you're coming from. I'm not even saying I necessarily disagree though. Like, how about that? Maybe we should, you know what? Let's run that into a poll. Because I'm kind of curious where everybody is with that. Because that is a thing. Let me see. I'm gonna run a poll on that. So let's see. Do you think Mckelty let me say it better. Should treat Christine as her soul mom, or should she? Oh wait, I can't do that. Let me think about it. I'm gonna think about the construction of the poll real quick. But thank you so much, Sandra. I want to get back to that because I think that that's an interesting question. I'm kind of curious what people have to say. Let me give you a little something, something though. Out of appreciation, thank you very much. I give you the spaceman because you are out of this world. I know it's a little cheesy, but hey, what can I say? Thank you so much, Sandra. I think that's a really good question. Because because that's the thing with their relationship. It is like I can see where Robin coming into the family may be a tremendous influence on um Mckelty and her situation, and it's valuable. Like if a parent, or like, it doesn't even have to be a parent, if another adult can come into a child's life and make that child feel special, give that child purpose, give that child help to give that child, or at least not give the child, but help the child to find their drive, because nobody can give you drive or motivation. Like if I motivate you, then you're just motivated to do it for now, but that's not enough to get you through when you don't want to do it anymore. Okay, so you have to have that personal inner drive to accomplish things, or to do things. So I find value in adults, even if you're not related to a child, coming in and helping a child to find drive, or not even a child but people, because you know you might want to change careers or something, and you need that drive, help to find that drive, so that you can fill out applications, so you can go on interviews, so you can do resumes, so you can actually find that place in your heart where you can walk in and tell your boss that you tired of their stuff and you ready for something else and something better. See you later. Peace out. So I think that that's always important. I did have something about Mckelty. Oh yeah. There was also a point what I thought was interesting, and then I'm gonna open this up for you guys. Um, there was another point that I thought was interesting, and that was when they were talking about the addition of the two twins coming home and how Avalon reacted to the twins coming in. I think that was like, I was like, oh, that's cute. That's just how it works. Like, yeah, she's gonna be upset, and she's gonna be jealous. But when they told that story, they showed that segment where Avalon started to realize, like, oh, these just ain't some dolls that are coming to visit. These little mama hamas is coming to stay. They're not going home. This is their home, and she's not gonna be alone anymore. The challenge for kids like that is that, especially the first kid, they're in a situation where they're alone, like, and they're 100%, they get 100% of attention, and now they have to split that attention. That attention, that love is divided, right? It's not multiplied, it's divided, right, Cody? uh and the thing that I wanted to point out is that through seeing Avalon's jealousy, Cody takes a particular shot at Christine, citing that when Logan was born, that, well, citing that from the beginning, the when the with the Brown family makeup, because they were having kids on top of kids on top of kids, there was really not an opportunity for the kids to feel like they were being left out. Plus, they had a plethora of mamas running around. So three moms, and the kids are coming, and you know the kids are coming right after each other. There was never really a time when the kids noticed that they were the only one, let alone be in a situation where they're jealous because another kid is coming in. But Cody took particular pleasure in citing that Christine wasn't, the kids weren't jealous of one another coming into the family, but according to Cody, Christine was jealous about Logan being born. uh and I thought it was funny that that's his perception. And then conversely, Christine gives clarification and says, I wasn't jealous about Logan being born. I was going through some things and trying to work stuff out because this was my first year as a polygamist. And so I had to make adjustments. So within the first year of her becoming a polygamist, because I think that she married Cody while Janelle was still pregnant. So it wasn't so she jumped right kind of in the deep end with the whole thing. So it's a little different. Let me see what this is. Oh, Daisy Reyes. Um, let's see, Daisy Reyes, 499 super chat. Mckelty acts like a woman who never was loved by her father. She chases love. Was easy prey for someone controlling like Tony. Wow. Oh, Daisy Reyes. Woo, woo, wee. You know what? There's an old joke that yeah, I guess it's kind of a terrible joke. Maybe I won't tell it. But there's a old thing where they talk about the importance of dads being around for their daughters. Um, because I think that it's valuable. I think that there is a value in that, and that there's truth in that, in the sense that when you are around for your kids, uh, especially at a young age, like there's an old saying that fathers are their daughters' first love, just like sons, mothers are their sons' first love. So, uh, and I guess can go either way. But when rubber meets the road, that validation that they feel, that security that they feel, and the confidence that they feel by knowing that someone loves them wholly and completely for themselves, especially growing up in that type of environment, I think is immensely valuable. And I'll say it this way: when I talk to my kids, like when rubber meets the road, the truth of it is, I pray that they each find somebody in their lifetime who will love them and put them first. And the love that they have for my kids will be maybe not unconditional, because I think I think love does have conditions to it. Like you can't go out and see with a whole bunch of people and be like, love don't have no conditions. But I think there are conditions to love. But at the same time, they get a love or receive the type of love where the person loves them for them and not because they can what they do to them, what they do for them, the position that they put them in, whatever. And as a parent, one of the strengths that I have, that's why, I might be friendly with my kids, but I won't diminish my position by saying I'm my kid's friend. I'm their parent, I'm their father. To me, that's a higher, more esteemed position than me saying that I'm their friend. Because my kids will have friends that come and go, but I will be their father until the day that, I'm not here anymore and beyond. So part of my relationship as father, like, is not just, custodial or supervisory, or disciplinarian, but friendly can be part of that component of being a father or being a parent. And my compassion, love, and affection for my children is not based on anything that they can do for me, because I'm not looking for my kids to take care of me. I'm not looking for my kids to provide anything for me. I want for them the things that they want for themselves, and I want for them to be happy with who they are and the decisions that they make and the lives that they lead. Right. And so what I want for them in a partner is somebody who will step into my position and want for them the things that they want to see them exceed, want to see them excel, want to see them make the most out of life and get the most out of everything that they do. Right. I love my kids enough where even if I couldn't be around my kids, I want my kids to be happy. If my kids would be happy with me not being around, I'm happy with them being happy. And I want somebody to love them to that level. And going back to what Daisy Reyes said, um, if Cody's not around and he's not showing her time, attention, and affection, then one of the things that you do see is that when kids don't get that time, attention, and affection at home, they seek it outside the home. And a lot of times when they get it outside the home, it's not a positive experience, because the people outside the home who are giving them time, attention, and affection don't necessarily have their best interest at heart. They're doing it for their own personal benefit, to meet their own means, needs, and ends, and not necessarily to enhance or improve the child's life. So I think that that is a very keen observation from Daisy Reyes. Let me go ahead and give you a little something, something out of appreciation. Thank you so much for the super chat. Dancing it out, dancing it out, dancing it out. Thank you so much, Daisy. Great point. Let me see. I am going to. Is there something? Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I'm gonna have to talk about during the course of the week. So I will be releasing a bunch of videos to talk about things more specifically. This was also the episode. They didn't cite it or call it out directly, but this was the episode where Logan was married, and that's the person who I think that they were talking about. My suspicion is that what the shit. Okay. This I think was the person that they were talking to or talking about, was Logan getting married. And I whoa, stop the show. Renee Cataldo, $400 super chat. Wow, thank you. Wow, I'm amazed. Okay, no message, just the love. I don't know if that was done in error or if that was intentional. I genuinely appreciate it. Don't get it twisted. I'm a little befuddled. I'm gobsmacked, if you will. Thank you so much. I appreciate your generosity. That is amazing. That's amazing. $40 super chat, y'all. We in the next level. I'm gonna give you a huge super thanks for that. Thank you so much, Renee. I appreciate it. And that's me doing backflips later. Thank you so much. Renee gonna be like, "Oh hell no!" I tapped too many zeros on there, like 4. But let me see. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Renee. I appreciate you. You are the official sponsor of the show tonight. Renee, let me write your name down. Hold on 1 second. I gotta do something real quick, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Have one from. Thank you, Renee. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Heck yeah, Renee. That's what I'm talking about. Chimmy ER 4.99 super chat. What a bait to what? I'm sorry, Renee. You got me all twisted up. Chimney ER 4.99 super chat. What a better way to exercise power over a mom you resent after feeling powerlessness, then to align with her enemy, affecting her indirectly. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Mom, you resent after feeling powerlessness, then to align with her enemy, affecting her indirectly. Ooh, ooh. You talk about them 3D chess moves. Jimmy talk about them 3D chess moves. You know, how to break somebody's spirits. Yeah, see, that's the thing too. Like that's one of the I mean, just as the outside part of that, that's one of the complications that I have with the idea of polygamy. It's just that it hurts from the competition, like the constant competition, the constant strategy and the stratagem, and part of the weirdness is like it's ironic that Robin and Cody and the family were sitting there playing a board game, because that's kind of what like polygamy is like, and they're all sitting there miserable because the rest of the family ain't joining in. Maybe she's just miserable because the rest of the family can't play the game, you know, like that. It's just they can't be in competition with each other. They can't sit there and strategize how you can make this other one feel bad without directly coming at her and going through like using angles to make the person feel bad. Like it's just sad. So yeah, that's I think that's just kind of baked into the cake. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was something that was going to happen. Like each of them are trying to figure out ways that they can what is it? Keep sweet, keep sweet and pray. Like this is their way of keeping sweet. So you don't directly go at people. Instead, you use peripheral attacks so that way you can say that, oh, I didn't mean to do anything. I don't know why they're so upset. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why. I don't understand. In my mind, you know what I mean? I'm so confused. You can use a lot of those excuses after you do something horrible to somebody. So I think that that's there. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to give you a little something, something too. If I can get my mouse to work, how about that? The Kremlin's coming in a full. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and. Tell you that. Yeah, I had to stop the daggone show. Stop the show. um, yeah, I just part of, and that's the thing that bothers me about like so much of the like I said, with the whole polygamy thing, just to finish that thought, like one of the things that bothers me, it's not even so much polygamy. If we're going to be 100% honest, polygamy is can lead to this condition, but it's the idea of having a lot of kids and kids kind of feeling left out, and kids being kind of shuffled to the side, their needs not being met, and them feeling lost, lost in the shuffle. Like that conversation, like because I've always said, like even here, like one of the things that I try to promote in the chat is for us to try to encourage one another because you never know where people are. Like people will walk around and they'll have big old smiles on their face, but sometimes the people who smile the most are the people who are hurt the most. They're the ones who are walking around and they need the most help, but they put on a strong, happy face and they're so used to being there for everybody else because that's also a thing that you have a bunch of people who are so used to always being there for somebody else, helping somebody else, saving somebody else, solving other people's problems. They're always, Johnny on the spot with everybody else's problems and helping them get through things that they don't take time to self heal, self, that self-care that's needed, the self-maintenance that's required in order for them to build themselves back up so that they can be there for somebody and continue to be there for somebody. And because they don't do that, they find themselves in a very vulnerable position, because they start to cover up their pain instead of healing their pain and tending to their pain and trying to solve their own problems. They just start covering it up, covering it up, covering it up. And in those situations, it can get too much for them. Or people could be going through things and they just don't, they're embarrassed by some of the things that are going on. I've had people who were close, well, I won't say close to me, but people who I was in association with. And you find out like years later, like there's one person I'm thinking of particularly, she was in a abusive relationship with her husband, but everybody, I knew her from a work endeavor, not a job opportunity I was doing. And everybody who knew her, they thought that she had the most perfect wedding. I knew people who were jealous of her and her marriage. Like they were jealous of her marriage. Like, oh, her husband just gives her everything, put her in like luxury cars, and she wears all these clothes, expensive stuff, and she always have all this money, and she don't even have to do nothing. She don't even have to work. He makes so money, she don't even have to work. But you find out that this dude was a damn savage. Okay, he was an act like about to curse, but he was a piece of work. Okay, and she was going through a lot, but you would never know it. We didn't find out about it until one day she said, "Look, I left my husband. I left everything. I'm on the move with my kids. I left everything behind because I just had to get out." And we didn't realize that she was in trouble until that I received that message. And that was like maybe a week after she had bounced out the house. So you just don't know what people are going through. And that one comment, that one kindness that you could show somebody could be the thing to help them turn that corner so that they recognize where they are, what they're going through, and help them through that tough period. And I say all that to say this: when you have a bunch of kids, you have like 20, 30 damn kids, you might be missing that opportunity to sit down and have that conversation, to give them that one statement, that one piece of encouragement. And encouragement isn't necessarily, Johnny, you can do it. You could be the best of the best in the world and your oyster. That might not be that conversation. It could be something as simple as, hey, how was your day? Oh, you look nice today. I love your outfit. Okay, I see you putting that together, player. It could be something that little bit, just give them that little hint of confidence that lets them go into their day on the right foot. How you start, there's an old saying that somebody told me when I was a kid, how you start is how you finish. And it gives them that right start. That's why, like, when my kids leave, every time they leave, or if I catch them on their way out, have a good day. Have a great day. Take advantage of the day. Have a great day. Have a good time. Don't smile too much. I tell my daughter that. She look at me like I'm a crazy person. But I want her to enter into the day with a positive attitude, a positive mindset, so that way she's open to positive things happening. Because I believe in the chain effect theory. So if you start off positive in a positive mindset, then you will see positive things in front of you. If you start off with a negative mindset, then you will see nothing but negativity. And so I try to encourage like that positive mindset. So that's how I try to start their day. They don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just doing the best I can. And I think that if you have too many children and too many people, that it could diminish your opportunities for those moments when, you know, where those 4 or 5 moments when you can be a hero. Some people get that reference, some people won't. Deadpool first movie. It comes down to four. People think you go to sleep a hero, think you wake up a hero, but no, being a hero comes to 4 or 5 moments, 4 or 5 opportunities where you can save a life, help someone, make a sacrifice, help a friend. And that's kind of where I think you as a parent, you have that opportunity to be able to be that first person, that first line of defense. Be the first person to say good morning. The first person to have a good day. First person to say, you know what, you're a smart mother. I like you. Hey, how was your day? Sometimes that's all people need. And they just need to, maybe they don't need you to solve their problems, but the opportunity for a kid to come home who's had a bad day or is having a tough time, kids, especially teenagers, the ones who've already figured life out, they're not going to, sometimes they might not come in and just kick the door down and tell you how their day is. But you asking a question could give that opportunity where they could stop and say, you know what? I had a tough day. Today wasn't a good time. My friend, she said blah blah blah. And things went left and it made me feel a certain kind of way, or the boy I like or the girl I like, or the person I like, they aren't paying attention to me. There's opportunities there, and I think sometimes they miss these opportunities. Let me see. Sorry, I just had something pop up, so I'm gonna give that, and then I apologize. I'm kind of going off, but I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to jump in and give your perspectives on some of the stuff that we saw on the show. If you guys want to talk about some of my videos, whatever, we can talk about that. What is this? Mother Nature's Apothecary, 4.99 super chat. That's a nickel word right there. Apothecary, I love it. Thanks for keeping us with high quality commentary. Oh, thank you so much. You guys drive me to do this, so I appreciate you. Mother's Nature's Apothecary. Are you on YouTube? Let me see. I might. If you're a YouTuber, let me know. I'll subscribe to your channel. I like that. I like natural stuff. You'd be surprised. That some of them people be on to some stuff. Like, oh, you put onions in your snacks when you're sick. Yeah, it works. Your feet will be funky. But it'll save you some money on medication. Save your kidneys. All right, let me give you a huge thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm just trying to give my perspective. If it helps some folks, hopefully it does. That'll be awesome. But definitely want to try to keep it chill for people to enjoy their evenings, because YouTube should not be stressful. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave the link down below. Or not down below. I'm going to pin it to the top. And I haven't forgotten the poll I want to run as far as Mckelty is concerned, but I want to make sure I give you guys an opportunity to call in. Let's see. Here we go. There's the link. If you guys want to click that, if you click the link, you will not come directly up. You'll be in my backstage. Once you hit the backstage, then I will be able to let you know that I'm going to bring you up. And that will be that. And we'll bring you up and you can have your commentary. And we can talk about it. Okay. YouTube is my time machine. What's up? What's up, player? YouTube is my time machine. $5 super chat. I didn't like how Cody reacted to Ariel saying she didn't like Christine. Thank you. Yes. Yes. YouTube is my time machine. Bringing it back. Oh, my goodness. You know what? YouTube is my time machine. You hit the dang on nail on the head with that one. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of little details. And that's why I say there's a lot. This episode was a little slow on the surface, but if you drill down into the episode, there was a lot of things that were said that I thought were very disturbing. That story, like when Ariel tells Cody that she doesn't like Christine, for those who I don't know, a little bit of a spoiler alert. Ariel said that she didn't like Christine. She pronounces to Cody that she doesn't like Christine because Christine left her daddy. And then Cody, of course, is saying, oh, well, I felt a little source of loyalty and I corrected her when she said it, but I did understand where she was coming from. And I felt the pride because she had loyalty. And then not too far before that, Robin had made the point of saying that Cody was they don't like to involve the kids and the kids need to stay in their place. But she said that directly speaking about Christine and Janelle's kids and them not being involved, which I thought was crazy as hell. Okay, like you don't get to walk on both sides of the streets. Clearly, you're talking to these kids about these other women. Clearly, you're doing that. So let's not pretend like I had nothing to say. I don't know where they got that from. She's a little girl. She has no idea what's going on. There's also, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Like they thought that Robin also kind of pontificated that she didn't understand how Cody and Christine and whether she should tell Ariel and Saul about the other wives and about the siblings because she didn't want to confuse them. She also said that she never stopped Cody from going over to the other wives' houses and she had encouraged them to go. But at the same time, the kids didn't understand. Ariel didn't understand that Cody had to go over to the other wives' house and she was holding on to Cody's leg. If this is something that they do, then it will be something that they understand. You wouldn't have to keep explaining to a child that Cody has to go to the other wives' house if he was always going to the other wives' house. Thank you for that, genius. So, like I said, there was a lot of times where they gave the game away. We'll say that they was giving the game away. Let me go ahead and give YouTube and my time machine. Awesomeness. Good, great seeing you. A little something, something. Then I'm gonna go to another super chat I just received. Hold on one second. From Miss Monica, the new empty nester. Okay. Okay, living her best life, out here doing her thing, keeping it rolling. She like that new empty nester down there super chat. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Speaking it loud and proud. She's like, I have to put this in my title so folks know that I'm out here uh, getting my mingle on. Okay. She's like, I'm out the house. Don't come by unless you call first. Cody said Ari said she don't like me, Christine. Yeah, that was, like I said, that was crazy. I don't like Christine. Me don't like Christine. Look at you little look. You don't teach your kids to get in adult business. When I was a kid, that was the thing. You know what I mean? Teach your kids to stay in a place. Why? Because you don't want your kid, when you are involved with adult business, you open your child up to get adult responses. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it all the way a stack. If your kid comes at an adult like an adult, then he or she could be treated like an adult. And that so you open yourself up. Like some people, not everybody have the same threshold of patience for your children that you do. So you send your kid out there to go call somebody some names. Look at you, big towhead, the big demo. You know, some adults are petty. They'll turn around and say something nasty to your child. And then what you gonna argue with them? Don't be talking to my child like that. Your child shouldn't be talking to me at all. And it's not their business, it's not their place. It's just not like it's just not appropriate for them that like you're going to have certain feelings about the family and their situation. You know, just like Christine and Janelle's kids have feelings about how their dad treated their mom and how Robin came into the family and upset the apple cart. They're also going to have feelings. But same. You don't expect them to start flipping out and flying off the handle, saying stuff to you. And if one of them kids when Big G's Garrison and Gabe called up Cody and told him about Robin, and Robin was sitting there mad. Cody didn't say, okay, I won't say nothing because these is kids and they're entitled to their opinion. They got to express themselves. No, he stopped talking to him. He's sitting there talking about punching them in the mouth because they said something about him. So, you know, like you look, just don't involve your kids because they don't understand what's going on. They don't. Ariel doesn't have the full story. And to be honest with you, the way Robin is conducting herself, She's acting like she don't understand what the hell's going on. So I don't know why in the world you would involve a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old when you don't understand it. You damn near 40. You middle aged. You don't understand what's going on. So you gonna pull in a kindergartner? Like, come on now. But I'm gonna give you a little something, something. Thank you so much. Let me hit this. Give you a little something, something. Empty nest in the house. Just so y'all know, she put it in the bio. All right, we got some callers. Got Brittany, not Brittany in the house. You ready, Brittany? All right, I'm gonna bring you up. Bring it up. Brittany, not Brittany, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Brittany, not Brittany in the house. What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Hey, hey everyone. I hope everyone's having a good night after these shenanigans again. Um, I'm gonna be honest, I missed like the first 10 minutes because TLC was trying to play games with me. At this point, I'm sick of TLC. I'm just like, y'all need to go to a new network because y'all on my nerves. But to like piggyback on the whole Ariella thing, because that was probably the biggest thing from what I saw, the most irritating thing to me, um, and Robin as well, was Robin when she was talking about Ariella like crying and everything. Even then, she doesn't take any accountability. She puts all of the responsibility on Cody, that Cody needs to be the one to explain to Ariella that he needs to go to another household, essentially
Uh-huh.
making Cody the bad guy. So while Ari's the one like throwing the tantrum, instead of just going, okay, Cody, I know you need to go see the other wives. I know you need to go see your other kids. I'll deal with Ariella and I'll explain everything to her and, get that together. But no, she Cody tells us that Robin tells him that that he needs to wait 15 minutes to explain the whole situation to him. To her, sorry. Yeah, to her. And to me, that again just shows that Robin doesn't take responsibility or accountability for anything either. Because it doesn't make sense that Robin can't be the one to handle that issue. Or even you got the nanny, you budgeted for the nanny. The nanny could have explained that to Ariella,
Right,
as far as I'm
right.
concerned. Um, and then I did agree. Janelle was on one when she said that that was poor parenting because
Yeah.
you know what? That in their family for polygamy, that's something that all the other wives had to explain to their
Mhm.
kids. Janelle is sitting up there explaining to her teenagers why Cody can't come to see them during the pandemic. She's the one trying to explain all of it, but you can't explain that to a 5, 6 year old. I understand it's a little harder because, smaller child, not as, developed as far as like
Mhm.
logic and reasoning. But even still, that's still something that Janelle had to do. That's something that Christine probably had to do. That's something that Mary had to do. Why doesn't Robin have to do that?
Right.
And why does
Right.
Cody allow Robin not to do that?
Mhm.
Is my
Mhm.
other question. Um, and then Robin talking about how she's not sure if she needs to like tell the kids about the other family members or show them pictures. And I just go, y'all had all of that wall space full of art, and you don't have a singular picture of any of the other siblings?
Right, right. Well, they don't
There's no
exist in a
picture.
special place, right?
Right. Like, I don't understand how it doesn't make sense to me that only when you bring them up would Saul or Ari ask about the other kids.
Mhm.
Because if those are my siblings and I already know who they are, even if I don't have their names quite right, because it is a big family, sure, fine. I will give you that little bit of grace. As a big family. It is probably hard to like keep track of the names. But for them to almost, the way Robin says it is that they don't even, they're like long distance cousins that you see at like great grandma's birthday
Right,
or
right.
something versus your siblings. and they don't know who they are, that how does that make sense? And how do you put that responsibility on everybody else when it's your house? You could
Hmm.
have those pictures up.
Right. Right. And the truth of the matter is that the relationships that are fostered as with your children, especially young children,
Hmm.
is your responsibility. Like you can't put it on the kids to say, I don't know why Ari is not picking up the phone calling Logan. Like Logan is 30 some odd years old. He's got a wife, and technically Ari is young enough to where she could be Logan's child.
Yes.
It's not really you like if you want to, and this is where it's weird for me because with Robin and even with Cody, like Robin specifically, she says so much, so many times. Her whole mantra for the last 3, 4 seasons has been, "I wanted to have a polygamous family. This is what I always wanted." But I fail to see the effort on her part to facilitate that big, huge family experience. It's
Hmm.
like she's like the person who says, I want to have the 6 pack abs and the washboard abs and lose all this weight. And then say, well, do you want to go to the gym? No.
I
No.
feel like you talking about me right now, James, and that's
No. Talk
unnecessary.
about myself. I'm self-reflecting. I'm self
Okay.
mulling. But I want to get in shape, and then all of a
Right.
sudden, you want to go to the gym? No, not today.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Oh, you don't want to get a salad? Nah, I'm finna eat this cookie. What do you mean?
Right? Why I get a salad when I got this steak right here?
Right.
Well, but yeah, it's just one of those like I want to be a student, but I don't want to study. I want to
Right.
be, I want to be on the honor roll, but I don't want to study. I want to be in a
Hmm.
play, but I don't want to audition. I want to be on the baseball team and a basketball team, but I don't want to practice. Like,
Right.
like you can't have it both ways. If you want to have the big family, having these big polygamous families is difficult. And in
Hmm.
order for you to do it, you have to do the work. That's the only way that you're going to be able to maintain these relationships because these are the types
Hmm.
of relationships that require constant maintenance. So you're always
Yes.
they're trying to fix something.
Hmm. And constant communication. That's where it's like you have to communicate, but at the same time, it's like she already did the damage. So now she wants the kids to fix the damage that she did. And
Hmm.
it's like you can't demand, and that's another thing is Robin wants everybody, like audience, the other kids, to understand and agree that she and her family should be able to set boundaries with everybody else in the family.
Hmm.
But then she acts confused and victimized and hurt when other people also set boundaries with her, because she's like, oh, my kids have boundaries, and they decided that it's just not safe. Well, the other kids said you cry too much and they don't want to deal with you. So
Right.
that is also a boundary. And you
Right.
don't get to, the same way you feel like they shouldn't be upset with you for having your boundaries, you also then can't turn around and be upset with them for having their own boundaries.
Right.
And that's another thing with Robin that just frustrates me, is that she wants everything on her terms. And for someone her age, and I don't want to be ageist, like that's not my intent at all. But it's like at some point you learn that you're not the main character in the world. Like you're only the main character in your own story, but there are other people out having lives of their own, doing things of their own. Like they don't stop existing just because you're not around.
Hmm.
And it's like Robin just hasn't learned that she's not the only person in this family.
Right.
That her kids aren't the only kids in this family. And that's another thing, really quick, to go back to last week's episode. And one of the things that's been bothering about her is she talks so much about having her own estate and setting things up for her kids. She talks so much about how Janelle's kids, Christine's kids, Mary's child, they're all also her children. So how are you um monopolizing all of this property and money and land and everything just for your kids with no consideration about the other kids that are also in the family.
Right, right. Well,
So,
because I think that to answer your question, I have to jump over to Shanice real
oh
quick. But
yes.
to respond to that point, which I think is a salient point, is that this is where I was like in my last, I think maybe 2, 3 videos
Mhm,
ago, I said that she had a lizard brain. This is that lizard brain mentality where you
mhm,
only see what you want, what's right in front of you, and what you want. And if it serves you, then it plays a part. If it doesn't, then you can discard it. And when you talk about like her collecting all this land for her kids and not considering the other kids, I take it a step further. If you can take ownership of other people's children and say your grandkids when you're talking about Christine's grandkids and your kids when you're talking about Christine, Janelle, and Mary's children, then wouldn't your children also be their kids? And if you wanted this big family, then it makes sense to me that you would try to encourage Ari and Saul to call the other parents and the other kids because you
mhm,
want them to have that experience. But like you said, you only want to have it in a controlled time. People are not like sweaters. You don't
mhm.
get to, when pull people out of the closet when it's comfortable for you, and then when shit start getting too hot or too real, you put them back in the closet. You take them
Right.
off and put them back in the closet. Like people are going to be around, and you have to treat them that way. Like they're important. And there's just in closing, I think that there's a quote that I like. That goes something like this. I don't know if I even have it exactly right, but basically, it's if they don't miss your absence, then they never valued your presence.
Mhm,
And when it comes to Robin and Cody, you don't really miss these women's presence as much as you miss the control and domination that you had over their experience.
mhm.
And that you can't have it both ways. You can't control me and dominate me and then say you like me as a person. When you only see like a limited version of me. You either like all of me or you don't really care for me at all. And I
Yes.
think that's where the ladies are.
Mhm.
But
Agreed.
yeah, thank you so much for calling in, Brittany. Not Brittany. You can always
Woot woot.
call back. I don't want to
Okay.
say it's a one-time deal, but I just want to make sure I get as many people as possible.
Yes.
But thank you so much. It's awesome
Thank
talking to
you.
you. Appreciate you. All right, let me before I get to you, Shalice, you're coming up. Um, just so everybody knows, the only thing I ask, if you want to leave your camera on, you can do that. If you want to take your camera off, that's fine as well. You don't have to put yourself on screen. But I want to make sure I get to this super chat that just came in from Sarah. I'm going to try to go through some of the chat boxes as well, so I can illuminate some of the comments that you guys put out because I do want to highlight those. But I just want to make sure I get everybody because I know Shalice has been waiting, and thank you for your patience. Just real quick, Sarah, the domestic goddess, with the $10 super chat. The domestic goddess, love it. You ever consider starting a weekly vid series? You respond to uh, a non or not relationship questions sent to an email or something could widen your audience, impact, share your wisdom, and help people. You know what? I started doing that. I am open to going back into it. If you guys are interested in me doing that, you can always send me questions. Thank you so much for the suggestion. I appreciate it. And I will open that back up. If you have any questions or comments or anything that you want to send me, you can always send it to my take on reality at my take on reality questions at gmail.com. My take on reality questions at gmail.com. In fact, I'll write it in the chat box on. Okay. I'm not that skilled as you can tell. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or if you want me to respond to something that you have a question on, I'll make a video about it. I do have a video coming up. Somebody sent me like a cameo from Cody, and that's kind of an exclusive deal. So I'll be releasing that this week. It took me a little time to get to it. But it's talking about like loss of loved ones. So I thought that that would be a kind of a cool one. I just want to do it right. But thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate you with the $10 super chat, Sarah, the domestic goddess. Gotta put some spec on the name. Make sure I give you a little something, something. Thank you so much, Sarah. Appreciate you. All right, all right. And I have one more, and then we are in there. Shalise, two more. I'm sorry. Elizabeth Bog with the 2.99 super chat. Robin's memory is like a goldfish. For those who don't know, goldfish have the shortest memory. At least that's what they say. They only have like about 5 seconds worth of memory. So they they run into a wall, they back up, hold their head, rub their head 3 times, and walk back into the wall again. Like it's just it's a beautiful, terrible life. Because everything is new. Like that's the one good thing about, I guess, having a crappy memory is that everything is new and everything is apparently a surprise to you. I can't believe that people are treating me like this. Why does everybody have a problem with me? I don't know, because you took their husbands and you treated them bad. Did I? I didn't do that, did I? Thank you, Elizabeth. And actually, two more. Miss Nureka, 2.99 super chat, super sticker. Thank you so much, Miss Nureka. Appreciate you. I'm gonna give you a little something, something. Miss Nureka, very creative name, awesome. I'm loving the names, by the way. Lizzie B, what's up? $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Did they tell Ari that Cody was choosing not to spend any time at the other wives' houses? Not only Christine's. Why is the hate only going directly towards her? Telling fibs to a kid. Yeah, because they want to keep that hate rich and thick. It's like that what is that, Mrs. Butterworth. You want it thick and rich. You want that hate just poured all over it so you can eat it and slap your gums. I see Shalice, she's nodding her head like that foolishness. Yeah, that's terrible. Like again, leave these kids out of it. If they don't know who Christine, Mary, Janelle are, if they don't have any understanding of who their siblings are, that's your fault. Because if you want your kids to know these people, it's on you to make sure that they know who these people are. Two, if you don't, like if you're so upset about them leaving and you want your kids to stay in a safe place or a safe space or however you phrase it, because you don't want them to experience the pain of rejection, then maybe you don't bring them up every 5 seconds and talk about how they're being rejected. Just a thought. Just a thought. Maybe call me crazy. That if you don't want your kid to know that they're being rejected, don't tell them they're being rejected. I don't want this to impact their self-esteem. So I'm just going to tell them about it. Like, come on now. Do better. Do better. Lizzie B. Big shout out to Lizzie B. She's also one of the moderators, y'all. Holding down for a player. So, ladies and gentlemen, next up on the mic, we have Shalise coming up. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ready, Freddie? Ready or not? Here she comes, y'all. Hey, what's happening? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, James?
Doing very well. Doing very well. Welcome to the show. Welcome
Thank
to the
you.
show. Awesomeness.
So
So
I
yeah,
won't take long.
No,
So I
go
won't
ahead.
take long.
Okay.
But I just wanted to add a few points. The first thing I wanted to say is that I had over listening for the last week about some of the comments that people have been saying about Robin. Like, she's not my favorite person at all. But I mean, when you live in a bubble, which is Cody and Robin and their kids, I was starting to realize, like, she's only getting her information from Cody, like how he feels, how the relationship's going with any of these wives. She's not talking to these wives about their relationships. He's only divulging how he feels and what's going on with them. So her feelings may just be singular or more like directly attached to how Cody's feeling, and she's not really getting the perspective of how the other women were feeling. So when she says, I don't know how their relationship deteriorated or everything was fine in Las Vegas. Like, no, honey, it was not. It's only because you're getting your information from Cody, and that's not a reliable source. So go straight to the horse's mouth and figure out what was going on because you're living in a bubble.
Okay.
So that's where my head was at with Robin. So that kind of segues into Mckelty, figuring like I know a lot of people are like, how can she ask Robin to be there and like be there first before her mom is there? And I mean, I don't know how many people come from blended families or anything, but like I come from a very big blended family, like my in-laws, my family, and such. And I mean, like we have stepmoms and third grandmas, and multiple people. So it's like when you want to exclude certain people because apparently they're not like first in line, that's not always right. Like the
Mhm.
way the relationship that she had with Robin is special, but it's like almost like if you had a stepmom. If your stepmom raised you, or you have a more special relationship with your stepmom than you do with your regular mom, like just because your regular mom is your birth mom doesn't mean that she's any more or less special than this other person, right?
Right.
So I mean, I think she just took her cue from Mckelty. Like they said, like they're there for Mckelty, they're not there for each other. Like keep the peace and be there for the birth of the babies. And I think that's kind of what happened.
Right.
And she doesn't even live in Utah, guys. She has to drive like forever in a day just to get there. So, spend a few days and go home. It's not like she's going to come back every third day.
Right.
So just pump the brakes, guys. Just relax. And then I think what I hope happened those days that she was away from Cody and the rest of the kids and that bubble that she lives in is hearing what Mckelty is saying about what's happening with the rest of the family away from Cody and sort of getting a perspective because I saw that commercial, that segue for the next episode, and that's when they're talking in the snow about how she's
Yeah. Yeah.
losing
Yeah.
respect for Cody. And I'm like, hopefully she's sort of seen the light a little bit and is like, you need to come correct with your kids. You can't be, holding all this pent up energy and thinking that they're going to come to you. Like you're their dad. You are supposed to be in their life. You're supposed to be the pillar in their life. You're not supposed to be waiting for them to come and pick up your scraps. Like that's not fair. They're adults. So they're going to go off and live their lives. If you want to be a part of their life, you have to be an active participant in their life. You can't just assume that they're going to pick up the call or they're going to pick up the phone every third day and hey dad, what you doing? Like I'm going to the grocery store. Okay, bye. Like no, it's not going to be like that. Like they want you to pick up the phone and say hi. I'm going to the grocery store. You need me to get you something? What do you need? So
Right.
I'm hoping that that time away from Cody and spending that time with Mckelty opened her eyes a little bit.
Right. Right. You know what? I think that first of all, you're a good person.
Sorry.
You're a good person. Um, 'cause you're very. It takes a lot of guts to stand up and try to defend Robin in any position that she has.
Like I said, she's not my favorite person. Honestly, I think she's manipulative. I think the way that she's raising her kids is just terrible. And also, I'll come back to that. Like I think the integration of her kids into their family was completely skewed. And it comes back to the fact that she didn't want the other ladies to have anything with their upbringing when she entered the family. And I think that dynamic is what cut the line in the sand because she never let these other women parent her kids. And she never did anything to parent the other children other than to criticize what they were doing
Mm.
or let the other kids have anything to do with her kids or the older kids have anything to do with her kids, seeing as that they were so integrated with the younger kids or the OG 13 kids in the first place.
Right.
So no, I'm not her fan at all. But let's just
Well,
keep
I
it.
mean, because I say that to say this, because I hear where you're coming from, and I think that there are points where I want to be very careful and very clear about uh, the possibility of blended family, situations. So this isn't the rule. Like, I think that's an excellent point, that this shouldn't be the rule. Just because somebody comes in and they aren't the natural parent, that they should be excluded. Especially if the step parent, or the bonus parent is sometimes referred to, comes in and they're doing the day-to-day work. They're the person who was there. They were there with the child and they raised the child. When the child had problems, they were the ones who dealt with the child's issue. When they come in, they scrape their knee. They were the ones with the band-aid and alcohol to burn the hell out of them, right?
Mhm.
If they're there doing it on a daily basis and they were the support system for that child coming up, then there will be times when the parent or the child will have a connection to that step parent or that bonus parent that they
Mhm.
may not have with their natural parent. And I think that's a very keen observation, that, there is a possibility that Mckelty does feel closer to Robin as opposed to Christine. And that's not necessarily a shot. I know people have issues with Mckelty and her character, but
Yeah.
that's not necessarily a shot on Mckelty or Christine or Robin.
Exactly.
It's just that some people, in fairness, some people, and no matter the relationship, click better with other people. Like, you just fit better, and if it's a situation where Robin and her worldly experiences and adventures, she maybe have the experience or wherewithal or consciousness to be able to click with Mckelty on that level, then Mckelty may feel that bonding with Robin. So therefore, when she gets older and she's starting her own family, she may feel like, I have to bring Robin in because Robin is the one who understood me better, which
Yeah.
is, and it's, when rubber meets the road, I respect people's decisions. So if Mckelty feels like, she wants Robin there, Christine even respects Mckelty's decision to have Robin there. So if Christine likes it, I love it. If she's okay with it, I'm fine with it. I can't sit there and argue with Christine about how she feels about something. Um,
Exactly.
so I think that is an important note, that just because you aren't the natural parent, that somehow you're diminished. You have a value in a child's life, especially if you're adding to that child's life. So if you're like, there are bonus parents who are there when the natural parent isn't. Not
Yes.
saying that this is the case, but that, that does happen where, a stepdad or stepmom or bonus mom, bonus dad or whatever will step in where the other parent hasn't seen the child since the child was born. They were around long enough to make sure the child had their last name, and then they were out.
Mhm.
And then the bonus parents step in and they doing it from like soup to nuts. So when it's time for that child to, to get married or start having kids of their own, then they might include the bonus parent before they think about picking up the phone with the natural parent. The, the
Exactly.
the only thing I would say is that with regard to the communication issue, I think the Brown family has always suffered from communication. But I think that Robin, you know, I will give her that isolation where she is getting a majority of her information from Cody. I think that that's a very valid point. Like, Cody's coming back like, yeah, Janelle was mad at nothing. He didn't say how he cussed the ass out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was there cussing out, yelling at her, telling her she ain't getting nothing. She ain't moving to no house. She just yelling at me, and that's she was. Yeah, and then of course I will be a jerk here because I can see a universe where Cody not only say, yeah, because he can't take responsibility for anything, nothing's ever his fault. So he'll
For
come
real.
back, get in an argument with Janelle or Christine or Mary, and then come back and then put it on Robin because that's the
Mhm.
person he's talking to. And
Yeah.
so I that's why I've always said that I think that the breakdown of the family, a majority of it, even though Robin was a big mover of the breakdown of the family,
Yeah.
it's Cody's ultimate responsibility because from where I sit, I see Cody feeding a lot of the fire. He's feeding a
Mhm.
lot of the hate and the dissemination and the distrust within the family because he'll get in an argument with Janelle or Christine and go back and talk to Robin because she's his greatest cheerleader. And he'll say something to the effect of, not, I got in an argument with Christine and Janelle because they didn't like something I did, but I got an argument with Christine and Janelle because they think they're jealous of you and they
Mhm.
don't like what I'm doing with you. And he puts it on her. So she starts to feel like they're against me and I have to attack them. So that creates that kind of discord.
Yeah. I also
But
wanted to, like, sorry, but
Okay. But I want to give the one caveat. I think that ultimately Robin was more compliant with that because she benefited from it.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
that's where, I kind of have issues with her because she
Yeah,
benefited from all of this. But go ahead. It's
yeah.
yours.
I mean, like, I guess not to always give her the benefit of the doubt, but like, we're all screaming at the TV saying, like, yeah, the phone goes both ways, but you can pick up the phone, you can call, you can write a birthday card, you can tell Cody that his kid's birthday is like on Tuesday and make him call his kids, but she's
Mhm.
not doing that either.
Right.
So it is a two-way street, but I kind of feel like if she were to call any of the kids giving Cody a bit of a problem, that he would get mad at her. So just to keep the peace and like not make him get mad at her for reaching out to the kid that's giving him strife, she's like, I'm a put some distance between me and these kids, and hopefully Cody can work his relationship out with his children.
Right. Right. And to that point, I would say this. I just my personal, I guess, my personal vice. I don't like people who make folks feel like if you're so small that you can't handle the fact that, like if I had a disagreement, like I tell my kids all the time, like if I have a disagreement with somebody, no matter who it is, a store or whatever, like if I don't shop there, that doesn't mean you have to carry my burden and
Yeah,
my you don't have to carry my feud. This ain't the Hatfields and McCoys. Like I have a disagreement now, you gotta hate them too. Like
yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm big enough and I'm strong enough, my shoulders are strong enough that I can carry that burden of my disagreement by myself. I don't see it as an outright piece of loyalty if you maintain a relationship with somebody whom I'm not necessarily getting along with. You know what I
hmm,
mean? Like, obviously, if this person tries to hurt me or damage me or do something bad to me, don't invite them
yeah,
to my house for Christmas. But, but at the same time, like, especially a family member, if I had a disagreement with my dad or my brother, I wouldn't want my kids to not talk to my dad or my brother anymore because I have a disagreement with them. That's my disagreement. That's my
precisely.
water to carry. You guys don't have to do that. And in this particular case, if Cody is having a disagreement with the siblings, I remember there was because I was doing the cutting clips or whatever. There's an episode where I remember Cody, they were talking about daycare and we save so much money on daycare. And Cody, but Mary said that about Robin coming into the family and all the money they saving on daycare because Robin picked up where Christine left off because she was suffering from postpartum depression and she couldn't do the kids. And Cody made it a point to say she's a mother in this family, and at the same time, if she's a mother in this family, then that means she has independent relationships with these kids that have
Yep.
nothing to do with you. So if
Hmm.
Cody's not getting along with the kids, there's no reason in the world why Robin should feel strange, weird, or in jeopardy of damaging her relationship with Cody because she wants to have a conversation with these kids.
Hmm.
And so I 100%, I guess, long story long, I agree with you. I
Definitely.
agree with you.
All right. Good night, James.
Thank you
Good
so
night,
much for calling
everyone.
in. Awesome job. Your first time caller. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you a little something, something. Thank you so
Thanks.
much for calling in. Fantastic job, Shalise. Appreciate you. Wait, while we were doing that, I had someone hit me up and I'm gonna make sure I acknowledge them. Uh Sahar Tabs, 1999 super chat. Hopefully, I said that properly. Forgive me if I didn't. Your commentary is the best. Thanks for all your insight. No, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are keeping me on point, keeping a player sharp. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for 1999 super chat. I'm gonna give you a little something, something. Getting the party started. Thank you so much. Shahar. Thank you so much, Shahar. Um, yeah, so we have the phone lines open for a little bit longer. I'll be up for another 30 minutes. So you guys have an opportunity to call in. Yeah, but I think that Hey, Kira B. Um, I think that you guys are making some excellent points, and I really take that to heart, especially with the whole role of the step parent, bonus parent, because Robin does get a hard way to go, and I'm not going to, I think we all agree that I'm not going to just give her a pass because she's the bonus parent. But being a bonus parent is it's a sacred trust. Like there is something special about coming into a family and having that responsibility, uh, care and compassion, and making yourself vulnerable. And this is one of the key things: making yourself vulnerable to kids that aren't yours, and that at any moment could be taken away. Because there is a point where coming into a family, there's a point where you could enter into a family as a bonus parent, and those children could be taken away from you. That relationship bond can be broken. I spoke about that before with a friend of mine who had became a bonus parent to a young man, and he was extremely close. And when his relationship ended with the young man's mother, he continued that relationship, and he saw that young man as his son. And unfortunately, when uh, his ex found a new boyfriend, then all of a sudden he was out. The boyfriend wasn't comfortable with how close my buddy was with this young man, so he, she told him that he could no longer see him. So there is a vulnerability in you getting involved with somebody who has children, and it's a special person to take another person's child into their heart, under their wing, and try to cultivate not only that relationship but to develop that person. That's a special thing. So I give all of them credit for that because they're all bonus parents to their own regard. Christine was a bonus parent to Janelle's kids and Mary's kids, Mary and Janelle to Christine's kids, all the way around. And then for Robin to enter that situation, that is a thing. But at the same time, part of that sacred trust is to be willing to stand in a crucible and deal with the issues and problems that arise, and realize that in some regards you may not have a firm voice because you aren't the natural parent, and you don't have as much pull as, say, the natural mom or the natural dad when they're arguing or disagreeing. But you can be there for the kids the same way Robin is there for Mckelty, kind of, sort of. Mckelty keeps that relationship going, in fairness, but theoretically, the same way that she's there for Mckelty, she could be there for the other kids as well. And part of the problem that I have is that if she was there before, then it would be a lot easier to maintain those relationships after the marriages fall apart. Consistency. It's just like the little kids. If the little kids were used to Cody walking out the door to go to Janelle's house, Christine's house, and Mary's house, he's only at Robin's house one night a week, and they're used to him leaving and being gone, then they would just be used to him leaving and being gone. It wouldn't be I'm crawling on my daddy begging him not to leave because I can't have him out the house. She would be used to it. And what Robin doesn't realize is that by you telling that story, what she told me was that these kids weren't used to it, which means that Cody wasn't doing it. So the whole argument that you guys are laying out, the pity party that you guys are laying out about how, oh, I can't believe the family is breaking up. We treated everybody the same. I spent just as much time at Robin's house as I did at Christine and Mary's house. Poor me. The kids told on you. No more to the point. You dummies told on yourself. You guys tacit agreements. You guys made admissions that you didn't realize you were making. Kids are consistent. If you treat a kid like, that's why I always say it, like, you can tell when you go into a supermarket. I've said this before. You go into a supermarket or a store, or you go to a family reunion, and a parent don't really deal with their child, or they don't see their child, but they want to try to act cute with their kid. Hey, buddy, hey, pick them up and try to kiss them or whatever. And the kid is looking at them like they crazy. That's because the kid's not used to it. You can always tell parents who are involved with their kids because the way that they interact with one another, the way they respond to each other, you can tell that it's not new. Okay. And if she's crawling all over Cody because Cody's walking out the door to see Janelle and go spend his time with Janelle, then she's not used to it. And if she's not used to it, Robin next week, they gave a little bit of a preview. And the preview is that just in the trailer, and the preview is Robin's going to sit out there, and part of the discussion where I feel like I'm losing respect for you is because she's basically saying you need to be involved more with your kids. Lady, you should have been having that talk with him years ago. That's just my opinion. Should have been doing it years ago. Let's see what some of you guys are saying. Just in here. Okay. Tick for car. Facts, and facts preach, James. Thank you so much. Gotta call in Michelle. What's going on? Are you ready to come up? You good? All right. Coming to the stage, we got Michelle, y'all. Welcome. Give a round of applause. Hey.
Hi, it's me again with the dodgy camera. How you doing?
Well, from across the pond, how's life treating you?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm just getting over breast cancer surgery and I'm happy.
Okay. How'd it go?
Yeah, it was all right, actually. Yeah, I still got to have chemo or radiation, but I'm doing all right,
Okay.
Really doing well.
Outlook is the best medication.
Yeah, more definitely. Definitely, yeah. I just wanted to make a couple of points. One thing I've made on Reddit before.
Okay.
Might not be going along directly with what you were saying, but the thing that never made sense to me, and I'm not saying that the children didn't get abused by Mary. I'm not saying that. I wasn't there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was Robin that made everybody aware that it was going on, why did she then go on to offer surrogacy for Mary? Why would you offer surrogacy for somebody that you considered abusive towards kids? Would that not be dodgy?
Yeah.
I never believed in that. I really wish somebody would make a bit by bit bullet point against Cody's knife in the kidney rant on the ranch thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was somebody that could stop it every time he says something and counteract with actual visual evidence how hypocritical and how wrong he is on every level. And I think there's a lot of damage done when you infantilise children.
Mm-hmm.
Because at some point they've got to go out there in that world and they've got to encounter people that are not going to treat them with kid gloves the way that you are.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
To me, it seems quite unfair. You're putting them at a disadvantage to start with.
Right. Well, Michelle, because I want to just hit you with 2 points. One, I think I'll take a look at the footage. Maybe I'll make your dreams come true as far as the knife and the kidneys speech. But to answer your question, the first point, I never thought of that. But excellent point about the surrogacy issue. Because if Robin was the person that came in, like, you know what I mean? Like if you know that this person has a history of mistreatment and they can't have kids, sometimes you might look at that and be like, well, maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you're mistreating the kids that you have or mistreating the kids that you're around, maybe you probably shouldn't be the person to have additional children. That's a horrible thing to say, and I get it. But I'm just saying, for you to offer because that would technically be your child, her and Cody's child, that she would be offering Mary. So if you did that, you would be providing Mary potentially a victim if we believe what the stories are. And that's an excellent point. Just even to that point though, I kind of, and this is just me being Dark James. this was one of the positions I had kind of taken earlier when I first heard her say that, like, I want to give you the opportunity to carry a child for you. I took that as her setting it up to, I'm going to do you this huge offer, to do you this huge favor, offer, not do it, but I'm going to offer to do you this huge favor because I want you to get a divorce from Cody. And so when I
Mhm.
ask you, when I give you this big thing, like, I'm willing to carry this child for you and sacrifice for you, and then knowing full well that this would be a conversation that Cody would have to agree to. And she knows that Cody won't agree to that because he wants to have more kids with Robin. He doesn't want to have more kids with Mary. So you're relatively safe in making that offer that you know that whether she accepts it or not, it's never going to happen. And
Yeah.
in turn, you get to turn around and say, remember when I offered to have a child for you? I was willing to make that sacrifice. So I don't understand why you wouldn't just give me a divorce. Technically, you would still be married to Cody, but you could give me the divorce, and that way I could marry him and put my kids in line to get his estate. But
That is so sneaky.
yeah, but that
Just
was always my thing. But that's an excellent point. Like, I never really made that connection about the abuse thing. But yeah, wow. All right. You said something about,
crazy.
like, that was an excellent point too. You had 3 points that you made. I forget the other one.
I know I talk an awful lot. My poor husband.
No, not at all, not at all, not at all. Because you making good points. Because like I said, that first one took me for what the hell? Like, I should have thought of that myself. It was sitting right there. It was sitting out in the open. If it was a snake, it would have bit me.
Yeah. The whole thing just creeped me out because it's like she came into the family. I think I'm not convinced that her whole agenda was worked out ahead of time. I'm not. I don't give her that much credence for being that intelligent, to be honest. But I think as time went on, she was a little bit more like,
Right.
maybe if I, da 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 da. And bit by bit, because she's sort of taken on the characteristics of all of them in
Right.
some way or another, it's kind of like, see, Cody, you don't need them. What do you need them for? You got me.
Right, I can replace them. Well, because I agree
Yeah.
with you. I think that when she started out, like, I think it went in, like, to pare it down. When it started out, I think it started in stages. So the first stage was, I want to be on TV. There's an opportunity there. So she hooks up with Cody. She marries him, but realistically, even though they're married by church's standards, they're not really married. So if the show doesn't go anywhere and it only lasts for 6 months, she could pack her stuff and go home. Right. But when the show started to do well, because I mentioned it in a video I did this week, last week, Janelle said they didn't start talking about estates till about 10 years ago. This is the show was filmed in 2022. So 10 years ago was 2012. So this was about 3 years into them being on TV or filming for the show, because the show aired in 2010. This was around the time that they went to Vegas. They went to Vegas. She got her house and stuff. She got her debt paid off. And because the family paid her debt, she was able to get a house. And then they started talking about getting these cul-de-sac houses. And then at that point, she started talking about estates. And then a couple years later, she's talking about, I need to get Cody to divorce Mary so that he can take my kids. It's funny how she's talking about estates and she's trying to add her kid to Cody's estate. But it all happens in stages. Like, so I don't think she started out wanting to be the legal wife. But when the show took off and it's about 3-4 seasons in, she realized that she needs to get anchored into the money that he has coming in. Because if he was to leave her or she was to leave him and they just got to Vegas and they bought the house, she's not entitled to alimony. She would only be entitled to child support for Solomon, but she wouldn't have been entitled to child support for the older 3 children. So she'd kind of be in a bit of a financial lurch at that point. You know what I mean? So so the whole way, I don't think it was a mastermind thing. I think it was just opportunist. Like she's an opportunist. So she just took advantage of opportunities as they presented themselves.
I just think it's crazy the way that they're trying to sort of, they think if they say it enough times that we'll believe the opposite of everything we've seen. It's like, you're really not that clever. You know,
Right.
you're
It's kind
not.
of scary. Yeah.
Get over yourselves just a mile, really, just a mile. You know. But thank you for having me on the show, and I'll catch up another time. Thank you.
It's great hearing from you, and I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to take care of
Oh,
yourself.
yeah.
And stay on. She's like, I ain't going nowhere. I love it.
No. I said to my mum, when I got the diagnosis, I actually said to my mum, if I've never listened to anything you told me to do, what the hell makes you think I'm going to let cancer tell me where I'm going? I don't think so.
Right? I love it.
Have a lovely day.
You as well. You take it easy. Have a great night.
And you take care. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right, Michelle in the house. Awesome. I wanted to do well. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna come up with I gotta start some memberships because I want to start giving people some dubs and stuff and some heart emojis or something. Show folks some love in the chat because gotta support each other as a community. But yeah, I want all well wishes to Michelle. Also, keep up the strong fight. I love the attitude. I gotta tell you, I love the attitude. Fighter. She's a fighter, y'all. She ain't playing around. Hope she whipped cancer's ass all day. Oh man, yeah, cancer that rat bastard. Got a couple of my buddies, but not gonna get Michelle. Sorry, just fell into my feelings for a little bit. Yeah, but when it comes to a lot of the stuff that we're talking about, we got 15 minutes left on the show. If you guys want to hit the lines are open. You can jump on the show. Yeah, Michelle makes a lot of great points. And the other point that she was talking about was actually with regard to the kids. And how she does the kids and she wants them involved, but she doesn't want them involved. Like Robin, like you have to, one of the scary things is if you're so preoccupied with your own pain, how do you deal with the pain of your children? Like because you're not the only person going through this. And a lot of times when I hear Cody and Robin talk about it, they talk about how the family division and the separations are affecting them. But they don't spend a whole lot of time in talking about what they're doing to help their kids through this very tough time. This is actually very close to a parent who, you might lose your significant other and you're so focused on losing your wife or losing your husband that you never take time to consider that these kids have lost a parent. And I think that that's an important thing. Like, I get it. Like, you have to do self-care. You have to take care of yourself. You have to heal thyself in order to be able to take care of other people. But at the same time, you can't allow yourself to fall into such depression, such dismay, such discord that you fail or neglect to help people who are relying on you as well. The ironic part is that if they did rely on like share with their kids, like maybe the pain that they're having or share, openly share and truly share, not just tell like how they feel about it, but express their pain and then listen to somebody else so that they can understand and interpret and help to heal that other person's pain, help them to, you help to experience, take some of that off of them and really listen to one another. They could help themselves move through. But what I don't hear is I hear them saying a lot, but they're not really trying to connect that pain. They're not trying to get it together to be able to heal themselves. So it's just merely a description of like, oh, I'm hurt so bad. It's like somebody fell down the steps and they broke their leg and they keep walking around on their leg, but they refuse to do anything to heal themselves. They don't want to wrap their leg. They don't want to cast it, but they just want to talk about how bad it hurts. And they're living in that spot. Oh, you don't know how bad my leg hurts. Like, it's going to keep hurting until you do something to actually try to heal it. So I have an issue with that. But let me get to some of these super chats real quick. And we got about 10 minutes left in the show, guys. If you guys want to call in, you're more than welcome. The lines are open. Brittany, not Brittany, $1.99 super chat. Funny, the one with no money talking about estates. Right. That's what speak of French. That's when people start talking that French, Brittany. Like, what are we gonna do with all our money? All our money? Yeah, we got all this money in our savings account. Ooh, we got a lot. We got a lot. I didn't see you punching in. I didn't see you at the job. That's when did you put money in? Ooh, don't be stupid. We got a lot of money. I mean, that's insane. Good point. But yeah, that's when she started talking about that estate stuff. When she realized that when she had her house, she started talking about that estate stuff when they were talking about buying a cul-de-sac. But it was, like I said, it was funny that it was right after the bills get paid. Like all of a sudden, your stuff get taken care of. Now we need to focus on ours, mine and yours. But when I was owing money and I wouldn't have qualified for the house because I got my money and my debt in like 5 different names. Now all of a sudden, you know, we what we gonna do? How we gonna pay off my debt? You know what I mean? How we gonna pay off our debt? Well, as soon as she get her house and she get a little freedom, then all of a sudden, this is my house. I need to get as much as I can for me and my children. So yeah, I agree with you, Brittany. All right, and Charlie Patton, 1999 super chat. Remember when Mary said she had a secret that she had been keeping tabs on Cody's time, and Robin said she had the same secret and Cody wasn't spending equal time with her? So how did Robin explain Cody not there to the kids then? Oh, oh. Charlie Patton. Charlie Patton is code cracking, y'all. Charlie Patton, Michelle, Brittany, not Brittany. Like we got some code crackers in the house. How? That's a damn good question. How did you explain it then? Did the kids understand then when Cody wasn't coming around, or were they too young when Cody wasn't coming around? Because by the time you guys got to Arizona, like even Janelle said, by the time they moved to Arizona, the rules had changed. Cody was spending most of his time over at Robin's house. He wasn't interested in spending time with Janelle or Christine. So, the kids start getting older. Cody's spending more time with them. By the time they go to school, he's there tucking them in, doing everything he wants to do. Because as we recall, Cody said, "Oh yeah, I spend more time with Ari and Saul. I tuck them every night. I'm there for them to send them to school. Why are you doing that, Cody? Because I like it. I enjoy doing it. Because when we was younger, we didn't have the opportunity to do it. Ignoring the fact that Truly is only less than a year older than Solomon. But hey, whatever. But great point, Charlie. And I do remember that. And the best part of that, just as an aside, my favorite part of that conversation, Charlie, was Mary had said it like, just so you know, I was keeping track of Cody, how much time he was spending in my house. And when Robin said, you know what, I got a secret too. I was keeping track also. And apparently you weren't counting the times that he was at your house. It's like, I just seem to have this 3-4 day blank space. I don't know what it is. It's just like an open space. 4 days, I don't know where Cody was. He was at your house. That's where he was. That's insanity. But thank you so much for 1999 super chat to add a tremendous comment and observation. That's crazy. That's awesome. Like, how did you explain it then? I know, and this is the part that kills me. Because Charlie, just to kind of riff a little bit, Charlie. The part that kills me about the whole thing is that they explain stuff to us like we're not paying attention. Like we haven't seen the whole show. Like we haven't, like we knew. They explain it to us like this is the first season of the show. The first episode, first season. Third episode, I guess it's the third episode of the season so far. This is the third episode of the first show called Sister Wives. We're not familiar with Cody. We have no idea what was going on previous to what they're telling us. So everything they say is golden, apparently. I don't know. Like, I'm just confused by the, and they tell it. I'm gonna just be honest. They tell the story with such confidence, it's disheartening. It's insane. They're so confident about it. Oh yeah, because Cody was spending so much time other places. He hardly came over my house. This is what Robin is saying. Meanwhile, Christine is like, he would leave from Janelle's house in the morning, drive over to Robin's house, park his car in the garage, spend all day at Robin's house, and then at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, he would pull the car out of Robin's garage, pull into Christine's house, and then sit there from like 8 o'clock at night, eat dinner, 8 o'clock at night, go to bed probably about 9, 10 o'clock, get up at 6, 7 o'clock, get back in his car, and then drive across the street and spend the rest of the day at Robin's house again. But he didn't hardly come over. Come on. I told my kids to leave him alone. Like, come on, man. Like, we people of the world, man. We've been around, man, you know. We've been around, you know. Brittany not Brittany down there super chat. Truly didn't throw tantrums when Cody left because he was never there. Truly was like, who that stranger in the house? Who the hell is that? Who that man standing in the refrigerator with his drawers drinking milk? That's your daddy. It is. That's what Truly wasn't used to it. So yeah, they just didn't have that same. And my favorite part is, that's an excellent point, Brittany. Because if Truly did do that, we would have heard about it because Cody would have been there complaining about it. Yeah, then all of a sudden Truly is complaining, and that just shows you how much time I was spending at the house. One, two, that Robin or Christine was asking these kids to letting these kids run wild and do whatever they wanted to do. And I'm looking at Christine to come peel his child off me, and she didn't come, so she's a bad mom. Then the fact that she was crying and complaining that I'm there, that it's up to the moms to explain that I have to go to other houses. Like, he would have been on Christine like white on rice. Like, he'd have been serious as hell, been serious as all get out, talking to her about how she failed and how it's a terrible thing and how he's spending too much time at Christine's house because the child is so attached to him. He would have lost his mind. But when it came to Robin's house, oh well, it's just something. I don't know what's going on. Just something happened. Oh yeah, let me give you a little pause because of your excellent commentary on the show and for the super chat. Good job, good job. We got one more. Okay, from Lee, $4.99 super chat. Christine had to pay for Isabel's surgery, but Robin is talking about she budgets well. When Dayton needed surgery, either insurance paid or Cody helped. They also took out a loan on the house. There was a lien placed on the house because of Dayton's medical bills. That's why it's funny to me, quiet as it's kept. This is just my observation. Just my observation from what I could put together, because they're not really clear about the finances and where the money went. But it's funny to me that when it came time for them, I don't know if you guys remember when Cody did the whole pitch about them moving to Arizona, and he came in and was like, all right, guys, where we go one, we go all. We need to move, and we got to, we're going to move and sell these houses. And it was like all last minute. That's because, in my estimation, they took out what would be commonly referred to as a balloon mortgage or a balloon payment, which is really an adjustable rate mortgage, where you take out a short-term mortgage. You're paying basically the interest on the house, and you're not paying principal. At the end of the term of that mortgage, which can be anywhere from 2 to 3 to 5 years, at the end of that time, what's expected to happen is you either have to take out a new loan or you have to pay the money in full for the house. So basically, if you borrow $400,000 for the house, you're essentially, I guess, technically it'd be closer to maybe leasing the home. So you'll be paying just the interest, and then at the end of the loan, at the end of the term, you would pay the full amount. So when the 3 or 5 years, time limit ran out, they will been expected to start stroking out checks for $400,000 for each one of the houses. But Robin, because she had an equity loan on the house, she would owe more than the house. Potentially she could have owed more than the house was worth, or more than the equity that she put into the house. So if she put down, say, $50,000 to get into the house, she owes $350,000 for the house. She takes out another 125, I think was the lien amount. She takes out another 125, and sorry guys, she takes out another 125. That puts the amount at one at 425 that she would owe on the house. So now, no, actually 525. So now she has to, or no, actually it'd be less than that. The damn alarms are going 375. So she would owe like 375, whatever. And she doesn't have that money. And she can't get an additional loan. So that's why they would have to sell the house so they all could stay together, because she would have to sell her house. She was going to lose her house. So she makes everybody, they have to move anyway. Dayton's going to school. So now we're going to go to Arizona and sell our houses. Let me turn this off. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. Yeah, so great point, Lee. Let me hit you with a little something. Oh. Check out that footwork. Thank you so much, Lee. Let me get 2 seconds. All right. Let me do this real quick. My alarm is going off and it's driving me crazy. Okay, there we go. That thing was ringing like a lunatic, gonna drive me nuts. Yeah, thank you guys so much. It was an awesome night. I want to make sure I give everybody a huge shout out. Let me give some shout outs to everybody who contributed to the show. Brittany Not Brittany, Lee, Lizzie B, Miss No Wrecker, Elizabeth Big. Oh, Elizabeth Big. Elizabeth Big. Robin's memory is like a goldfish. Oh, okay, I did get you. Thank you so much. Sarah, the domestic goddess. Don't forget, if you guys want to send me a question based on what Sarah, the domestic goddess, had suggested, you can always send it to my take on reality questions at gmail.com. And I'm going to post that in the chat. I'll put it at the top, pin it to the top. So if you guys ever want to send me a question, or if you want to talk about relationship issues, whatever the case may be, you want me to make a video about it, just send me those questions or whatever, like little, what is it, Ask Annie or whatever, I'll be glad to do that. I was doing it before, but I'll definitely do it again. So thank you so much for your contribution. Of course, Lizzie B, hold it down with the moderating. Appreciate you. Miss Monica, the new empty nester in the house. YouTube is my time machine. Hey. Mother Nature's apothecary. Chimney ER. Daisy Reyes and Sandra Hassan, and Heason. I think that's right. I think Heason is closer. And a big shout out to Renee Cataldo, who sponsored tonight's show, was the sponsor of tonight's show. Thank you so much. I want to give you guys all a little something, something. Appreciate you all. And I also want to thank everybody in the chat for keeping the chat super cool, super awesome. Thank all the callers, everybody who called in and left their message. Big shout out to Michelle. I hope everything turns out well for you. I see that you out there fighting over across the pond. She giving cancer hell, y'all. She is not taking no prisoners. So let's keep her in our prayers and keep her give good thoughts to her and make sure we support her. Give us some love in the chat. If you guys could give a little heart. That's what I have, guys. I'm going to be releasing videos because I have like a page and I have two pages of notes. I know we kind of got a little into the weeds on some of this stuff, but I want to be releasing some of my observations. To be honest with you, every now and again, and that's why I appreciate the community so much. When I watch the show, I need to decompress, okay? Because there's so much crazy stuff that happens on the show. I need to take some time, get with some like-minded folks, just so that I know I'm not crazy. Okay? I want to know that I'm not, there's nothing wrong with me. Why? What? Who does this? Who lives like this? So I appreciate you guys being there for me. Hopefully, you know, I'm helping you guys as much as you guys are helping me, because I need my community to get through this foolishness. But I will be reviewing. I might have to go back and rewatch the episodes so I can come up with some connections for the videos and make some videos and formulate those videos. But I will be coming out with those videos this week. I'll be, just so you guys know, I will be back in the house with Sarah tomorrow night discussing the show once again on the Sister Lives. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to rock it out. I'm sure she's going to have some crazy observations, because I'm looking over my notes and there's a whole bunch of stuff that just had me like, what the heck? And I want to make some videos about this. So please keep your eyes open for that. If you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. It not only helps the channel out, but when I drop new videos, you'll be notified when I drop those videos. And if you hit the like button, when you watch the videos, make sure you hit the like buttons, because that way, when I drop new videos, it'll hit you, like YouTube will say, oh, they like the videos, and they'll send you the videos, and that way you can see them. It works for not only my channel, but all channels. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thanks for keeping it cool in the chat. Thanks for being cool with each other. Be good to one another. Be good to the people in your life, because nobody is guaranteed. And make sure we take lessons from the Brown family. Maintenance your relationship. Take care of your relationships, especially those relationships that are important to you and that you want to keep. Like I tell my kids, you know, when it comes to brushing your teeth, you only got to brush the ones you want to keep. So if you have friends, you have family that you want to keep in your life, make sure you take care of those friends and family. Never take them for granted, because nobody is promised tomorrow, and you have to enjoy the time that you have with them today. And the best way for you to do that is to appreciate them today. Give them their flowers while they're here. Don't wait for them to be gone, y'all. That's my take. I'm James. This has been my take on reality. And guess what, y'all? I am out. Appreciate you guys so much. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks.
Yeah.